Hello everyone, Marty Janeski here, flying solo again this week. It is the 17th of June and I will say it's one of the hottest days of the year today. It's mid-80s, gorgeous out if you like this kind of thing. This will be the last local sports wrap up until we come back at fall high school sports, so I just want to say thanks to everybody that watched. And we're going to start off with softball. Last Tuesday, as me and Ken sat around here shooting the breeze about girls softball, Woodhaven was in the quarterfinals against Saline. Unfortunately, they lost the game 2-1, and we're going to figure out how right now. And after collecting their second regional championship in school history, both of them coming in the last 3 seasons, Brownstown, they were last Tuesday, obviously, I just said, they run through the Division I playoffs. They were playing Saline. Now, pitching reigned supreme in this match. It was a 2-1 game. Woodhaven got out the gate in the first inning, scored their run. First pitch of the ball game, in fact. Let's see. Mia Taylor took the first pitch of the game, laced it in the left field, and 2 batters later, with 2 outs, she advanced to second on a wild pitch, and then Natalie Pridemore, the pride of the Woodhaven baseball team, she drove her home with a base hit. 1-0 Woodhaven, start of the game. I almost gave it back in the bottom of the first, a couple of errors, and we've talked about this, and we've talked about extra outs. They got 2 runners on, unearned, both of them, but then Sizemore struck out the next batter to put an end to that. Then, after third inning, Woodhaven's third error of the game put a Saline runner on to lead off the third. After consecutive sacrifice bunts to advance the runner over, then they got a pair of 2-out RBI hits from Sydney Hastings and Ashley Malinchek to take their first and only lead of the afternoon. That was 2-1 in the third inning. And Curtis, the pitcher for Saline, retired the next 10 straight Warriors and only allowed 4 total base runners from the second inning on. And the best chance of the game came in the 6th inning for Woodhaven. First and second with 2 outs, but next batter didn't hit a grounder, was out. And the 2 unearned runs basically were the only damage allowed by Pridemore. She scattered 4 hits and a walk, struck out 6, and actually after her base hit, she got on base with a walk. So she is, from what I understand, I forget where she's playing ball next. Maybe that'll come up somewhere else. Saline, they were 37-3-2 on the season. They moved to the state semifinals for the first time in program history. As for Woodhaven, the loss on Tuesday capped their season at 32-7 overall. And despite the loss, Woodhaven continues cementing itself as the state's top program, compiling a record of 135-24 since the start of 2022. And Saline, after taking care of Brownstown 2-1, moved on to play Hudsonville and won that game in the semifinals 5-4, which gave them an opportunity to take on South Lyon in the championship game last Saturday at East Lansing, and Saline came out on top. So if it's any consolation to Woodhaven, they did lose to the state champs. Now I know that doesn't make any of the girls on that softball team feel any better, but they are regional champs for the second time in 3 years, and they are they lost to the eventual state champ, who 5-2 over South Lyon. Another strong program, South Lyon. The other team we wanted to talk about in the area was Carleton Airport. They were playing Divine Child last Tuesday when we were talking, and we didn't know the outcome of that, but Carleton came on top 5-2. I don't have any details on the next game, but they played Paw Paw in the semifinals and ended up losing to them 3-2, unfortunately. And then Paw Paw got beat by Richmond, the eventual champion, last Saturday in Division II softball. The Division III, we didn't have any school represented in this area anywhere that I can see. And the eventual winner in thing was Grass Lake. Division III, Grass Lake took the championship. And in Division IV, there were a few schools. So you have Cabrini, you have Inner City Baptist, but they never got anywhere near anywhere. And Mendon was the state champs in the Division IV softball 2025. Speaking of baseball, there were 6 downriver area players who received all state honors. It's a pretty good accomplishment. The season wrapped up last Saturday. It ended with teams from Heartland, Division I, shocking. Grand Rapids Forest Hills Eastern, Division II. Traverse City St. Francis, Division III. And Portland St. Patrick, Division IV. I wonder how fast they'll get the sign up that says state champs. My daughter's going to Traverse City this weekend. Maybe we'll see if they got the state champion sign on the city entrance, like we do here in Wyandotte for hockey and bowling. A half dozen kids from the downriver region were named All-State, a pair each from Flat Rock and New Boston, Huron. For Flat Rock, it was pitching aces Michael Giroux and Jaden Yancey. They were named first team and second team, respectively, in D2. Giroux, in his final season of high school baseball, he hit over 360 with 35 hits, and a third of his hits were extra bases, along with 30 runs batted in. And he's the Grand Valley State signee. He was also dominant on the mound, and get this, he had a sparkling 0.41 ERA, so he gives up a half a run a game, and he averaged over 2 strikeouts per inning. He had 106 strikeouts in 51 innings. That's just incredible stuff. And if a kid's throwing that much heat, what does it take to get into a Division I school? What does it take to get into U of M or Michigan State if you're blowing people away? And not that, I'm not going to say the only thing you got was Grand Valley. Maybe you picked Grand Valley. I don't know that for a fact. But you would think with those kind of numbers, the big schools would be coming after you. Just maybe. I don't know. It's all about velocity for the big schools, though. Now, Yancey, on the other hand, the second team D2 representative, he was equally impressive, to say the least. Flat Rock finished 26-5 on the season, and that was they earned their first Huron League championship in nearly 50 years. The typo, it says 50 decades. That'd be a long time, 500 years. We haven't been playing baseball that long. The junior, who's coming back, in 52 innings of work, also turned in an ERA of under 1. And he racked up 74 strikeouts, and he held opposing batsmen to a 174 average. So that's 17 hits out of every 100. Pretty good. Then that was the 2 guys from Flat Rock. Huron also had a pair of players. They finished 27-7 overall, and they were top 5 in the D2 by the Michigan High School Baseball Coaches Association. Earning all-state honors for the Huron Chiefs, second baseman Noah Bannis. He was the first team all-stater. And outfielders Mile Grace. He was the second team. Bannis hit over 500 on the season, collecting over 50 hits, driving in 39 runs. Grace, meanwhile, was the leadoff hitter. He hit well over 400 with 4 home runs, 19 RBIs, and 11 stolen bases. And he runs out in center field defensively. They say flawless center field. And then we have Brownstown, Woodhaven, and Trenton each got one. From Woodhaven, it comes in the form of Jace Davis. We talked about Jace before, and he was named first team in Division I, so that's a great accomplishment for him. He hit .454 with 60 hits, 42 RBIs, and over 33 stolen bases. And he's committed to Lansing Community College. He's the all-time hits leader, having helped the Warriors earn their 4th regional title in school history. So good for him. As for Trenton, Ashton Rooney picked up the honor, a D2 first team All-State recipient a year ago. He hit .444 this year with 13 doubles, 23 RBIs, and 22 stolen bases, while posting a 1.69 ERA in 45 innings on the mound, helping Trenton earn their 2nd district title in a row in as many years. So congrats to the 6 downriver area all-state baseball players. We like that. The Little League season is kicked off. We have the All-Star Tournament coming next weekend, not this current weekend at the 20th, but it'll be the next weekend. The girls here are playing in Wyandotte, the 12U girls, and you'll have teams from all around competing right here at Wyandotte, at Pulaski and the other parks in the area. Maybe stop in, see who, maybe your kids are playing, who knows, and buy some 50-50. You never know, you might pay for expenses. See Mike Wahalik. Carlson Preston's Egemy, I'll say Egemy. He's going to play baseball at Spring Arbor University next year, another signing. This one from Carlson High School. He's a multi-sport athlete, Preston. He finalized his decision to play baseball at Spring Arbor University next year. Spring Arbor's not too far. It's up around Ann Arbor way, I think, out 94, if I'm not mistaken. There's a nice golf course out there. Country club. Egemy for Carlson baseball team appeared in 35 games, logged over 100 plate appearances, compiled a .337 batting average, and a .441 on-base percentage. He shared the team lead for runs batted in with 22, while also scoring 18 runs himself. So he was personally responsible for 40 runs. He also was a member of the boys varsity tennis program for 3 years, and this past fall he was the #1 singles player, and he was, in his junior year, he was the #2 doubles flight. And for the Carlson team that claimed the outright Downriver League championship. So I think it's good that kids play in the multi-sport arena, because they, I think it's good that they get experience in different things. I already announced all the champs. I want to say something about Division IV baseball, that this is an opinion of mine, like the thing says at the beginning, and nobody else's. You have 8 teams in the Division IV baseball finals, and 5 of those are Catholic schools. St. Patrick, St. Mary, Cardinal Mooney, Christian Academy, yeah, and Gaylord St. Yeah. So I think the playing field is tilted in the Division IV a little bit, that route, because those schools get to pick players, and you know, anyone that has money can join the Catholic school and pay the tuition. And if you don't have the tuition, my understanding is they'll give you a contract if you have ability. If you have enough ability to play a sport, they'll pay the tuition for you. Just my humble opinion. Grosse Ile had 8 kids, college-bound student athletes. They had a nice big signing ceremony. They got all the kids right there sitting at a table. Pretty nice thing they did. Let's see. Among the college signees recognized were 4 soccer players. 3 of them on the girls' side, including forwards Mallory Botten. She's going to the University of Michigan Dearborn. Aubrey Corodi. She's going to Northwood University. I know where that's at. As well as goalkeeper Monica Art, Siena Heights University. All three players have been part of a Grosville program that reached the Division III state championship game in both 2023 and 24. But as we know, this year they lost to New Boston Huron. We will talk about in a little bit. Meanwhile, on the boys' side, soccer side for the Grosville Red Devils, Isaac Miles will continue his playing career at Kalamazoo College. Miles this past fall, he collected 20 points and earned all state honors at season's end. I don't know what the breakdown is on his goals and assists, but 20 points, not bad. Another boys' soccer standout is Sam Vesperman, who signed on to compete in track and field at Eastern Michigan University. Now, Vesperman, if you watch this show with any regularity, you know he's the pole vaulter who's been all state for the last state champ for the last 3 years. He was first in the pole vault in Division II back on May 31st, but also the 2 years prior to that. And if I don't recall, it was 14 feet or 15 feet, 15.4 or 14.5. I can't think, but he's been the champ. And we have a baseball player, Caleb Jones. He's going to Madonna University. And softball player Kate Antozowicz, she's going to New York University. Now that, I think we were nearby New York Anniversary on our last trip to New York. I think it's close to the Wall Street. I could be wrong. Both of them were all News Herald honorees in 2023 and 24. And the female, Katie, she received all area recognition in all three of her seasons in 22, 3, and 4. And then here's an interesting factoid. I had a guy come into my shop last week. He wanted 3 trophies for clay shooting. Little tournament they were having, shooting clay pigeons around. And Desmond Morrison signed on to continue his shooting career at the University of Olivet. Morrison received all state honors at the state championships in 2024. Now, there are 130 schools in the state of Michigan that are, offered by over 130 schools in the state of Michigan. Grosville has fielded a clay target team since 2017. They are just one of the 2 downriver schools to offer it as a sport, Gibraltar Carlson being the other. I'm just wondering where they shoot these things off at. Any gun ranges in the area there that you know of? Well, yeah, they're not going to shoot. They're not going to shoot clay though at Downriver Guns. Yeah, go by it all the time. So anyway, the guy that came in, he was running a little tournament and needed the best male, best female, and then I think best team. Got 3 little trophies. And he was telling me all about that, how it's a varsity sport in 130 schools. Think about that. That would be a lot of fun to go out there and shoot at clay pigeons and get good at it. Get good at a gun in your hand. Last thing we're going to talk about is the New Boston Huron knocking Grosville out of the soccer thing. That they fall to top-ranked Unity Christian in the D2 championship game. Let's give New Boston Huron some kudos. That was their first ever Division II state championship game. They did battle with the perennial state power in Hudsonville Unity Christian. The win there, they lost 7-0. They held their own for a good 30 minutes in the first half, or however long the first halves are in soccer. I should learn the rules. 3 minutes before the period ended, they gave up the first goal. It was 1-0 after the first half. So they were hanging in there. Coach says they had this little 7-on-7 game they were playing and to keep them off the board. Unity Christian, that's their 13th state title in the sport. And Friday was their 17th all-time appearance in the final game, tying them with Madison Heights Bishop Foley for the most in Michigan High School Athletic Association history, finals history. So that's that they're strong. Let's face it, they're strong in soccer. And the Crusaders, who are Unity Christian, they had 40 shots on net. 16 just got through to the goaltender. And after the first half ended and they came back out, they came out flying. In fact, the first goal was scored on a corner kick with 3 minutes left. And then they got 6 goals in the first 25 minutes of the second half. So the game was blowout. After it was probably 3-0, the other team was like, ugh, Huron. But yeah, again, we're not going to sell Huron short. They took down a really strong Roseville team to get where they are at. And the Chiefs head coach, Matt Levitti, he praised the Crusaders for their high level of play. And, perhaps, next year they use that as inspiration, as future, because he says we have the skill, we have the talent. He says, but Unity Christian, what they do really well is they win the 50-50 ball. That's when, for you that don't know, 2 girls going after the same ball, or in hockey in the corner with the same puck, and you come out with it, you're winning the 50-50 battle. And he says, we're a fast team. That's how come we're so successful. He goes, we're fast. But Unity Christian was just the next level above us. So, to see it at a little bit faster, maybe his girls will realize there's another level. It's another level to that speed, and maybe they'll start getting things done a little quicker instead of sitting back and analyzing. And the team is solid, let's face it. They've only had 3 losses in the last 2 years. So New Boston Huron, you get state runner-up. You still get an award for that. They've got the large one they give to the state champ and a little smaller one for the runner-up. Nothing to be ashamed about. As we get closer to finishing up, I want to say that if you're into rowing, there's another regatta coming out, because we just had the Hebda and then we had the Y-High. And this one is the club regatta. And it is Saturday, June 28th, which would be 2 Saturdays from today. And you're going to have 25 events, heats to run before the finals. Racing begins at 7:30 in the morning. Hopefully it's a nice warm day, not like Y-High and the other one where you might be able to see snowflakes if you go out there early enough. This one's in mid-June, end of June. Hopefully it's scorching hot and them rowers can get out on that water, which there won't be any chunks of ice floating out in the water either. That's a good thing. But, my wife is an old rower, young rower. She did that for years. So if you grew up in Ecorse, so you had to row. That was part of the gig. And so, yeah, the regatta's coming up on June 28th. And like I said, there's a tournament going on in the, and there's adult rowing. Adults practice on Tuesday. So I don't know if you could sign up still, but you should just go down to the water on a Tuesday evening, maybe around 6-ish when people get off work, and see what they're doing down there. Maybe they'll let you get on one of those shells. Thank you. And you get on one of them shells, just don't lean one way or the other. They got floating docks out there. They'll get you out there, and if it's something you're interested in, it'll definitely keep you in shape. Rowing is good that's why they sell those rowers that go to your basement, just because. So I want to say it was an interesting season here on Local Sports. Doing shows by yourself. We have an open audition policy here at Local Sports Wrap-Up, and the policy is if you want to do the show, just text me or email me at localsportswrapup@gmail.com. And also the email I use for my gambling sites, but we won't mention that. Yeah, get a hold of me, because Ken, I'm sure Ken, as much fun as it was to have him here last week, his kids are still young. They're playing high school sports, and the other one's just getting into high school. And he's going to be running around in the fall with basketball or with who knows what, volleyball and fall baseball. So he's not going to have an opportunity to get in here, I don't believe. So please, I'm going to take the summer off. I'll probably do football games when it comes back on with the cable company, and then we'll see who we can get to sit next to me. Or we get 3 people in here and we'll have a real party. But I'm Marty Chinesky. I'm your host of Local Sports Wrap-Up. It's been a fun season. We will see everybody in the fall. Have a great, safe summer. And we got a beautiful river here. Take advantage of the water. Thanks for watching, everyone, and see you next season.